To my YouTube channel Java Classified. In this video, I will explain how to implement Spring Security with the databases. Previous video, I have shown you with the hiding property and in memory. Now it's time to implement the Spring Security by using databases. So I'm going to Chrome browsers and creating a new projects. So typing Spring Initializer here, going to create a group ID database. Now here defining SB security with DB DB. Copying this one as well and pasting description. Now selecting the packages as a jar and Java version selecting as a 17. Let's add the dependency. Here adding the dependencies. Now selecting the DevTools actuator endpoints web Spring Web. Now going to add security, Spring Security. We have added four dependency. First one is a DevTools. DevTools basically no need to stop the servers. If you are changing anything in the runtime, it's automatically invoke the Tomcat server and no need to stop application and run application if you are going to change anything. Spring Actuator is used for health check and Spring Web is used for creating the REST endpoints. Spring Security basically adding the security. So if you want to explore, click explore. You can see here all the added dependencies. Now I am going to close and click the generate for generating the projects. Let's wait until the project's not generated. Yeah. Now project has been generated. Going to download folder, copying these projects and pasting in a Spring Boot interview SB Spring Security folder. Here two projects already I have added. One is a property and second one is a in-memory security implementation. Now adding third one as a security implementation with database. Going to IntelliJ, refreshing it. Yeah. Now our Spring Security with DB projects has been appear. Adding the add, add as a Maven projects. Now it will download all the required dependencies and added in the class path. Let's wait until all the dependency not downloaded. Yeah, now all the dependencies has been downloaded. Let's go to the resource folder and renaming the application property file as a YAML. And here going to define the Spring packages config. Now going to define controller here. Going to another created a package controller. Here adding the config db config security. Now we need to add at the rate configuration, enable hard web security. Here adding the filter chain, filter security chain, security filter chain, default security filter. Here passing the HTTP security as a HTTP. Now HTTP dot authorize HTTP requests. Here adding as a request. Now going to request dot on request matchers. Here we need to add the URL now authenticated here. Add request matcher. Here another API which needs to permitted. Let's copy the all previous controller in this projects for example purpose. So I'm going to copy these these controllers in Spring Security with DB projects. So pasting here, yeah. Now you can see all the just wait. Yeah, now you can see all the controllers have been copied here. Just going to define which API need to authenticate, which API need not to be authenticated. So here I am going to define the authenticated home API, comma item API need to authenticate and login user API will not be authenticate. So here I am going to added login user permitted all. Now going to added HTTP basic. Here going to disable it. If we are going to authenticate via postman, then we need to enabling it. Right now I'm not going to access these API by postman right now. I will explain this one as well. So I'm going to define HBC. Here HBC dot disable. Now going to add HTTP form login. Now here defining FLG FLG dot login processing URL. We need to define login API. If we have defined our custom login API, then we can add that one as well. So I'm going to build here, adding the exception in the method layer. Now going to return it. Yeah, and add the bean in this method. Going to define databases. So here now after adding the security filter chain, we need to add the data sources. So I'm going to define JDBC Yeah, I think I have not added the databases dependency. So I'm going to Spring Initializer. Here, let's add the Spring Data JPA. So here, Spring selecting the Spring Data JPA, exploring it. Now scroll down, just copying the Spring Data JPA dependencies and paste that dependency in the our project. So I'm copying this one, or you can just write here, scroll down here, adding the dependency, adding the org dot spring framework, dot boot. Now adding the artifact id is a spring boot starter jpa. You can check here spring boot starter data jpa. So here defining data jpa. Now it is going to download the jars. Let's add the Postgres dependency. So let's check here post. Yeah, we need to add this one PostgreSQL driver. So I'm going to click here, explore. Now adding this dependency into our projects. So org Postgres SQL runtime scope. So I'm going to defining here Spring Data JPA Spring Framework. Yeah, that is fine. Why it is not going to download? Let's reload it. Removing this one right now. Once our jar downloaded, then we will add to download. Why? Spring Framework, Spring Data JPA. Yeah, now it is. Let's add the this one. Now Spring Boot starter data JPA. That is correct, but why it is not going to download? Let's check. Let's copy both dependencies. Spring Boot starter. So I'm copying this one as well as Postgres. So I'm going to copying this one, pasting in the projects, reloading. Now it is downloaded. Going to application YAML file here, defining Spring colon application colon name, adding the Spring Boot application name here, removing this one. Now going to add here server colon port as a 6060. Now going to add databases data source URL, defining the database's URL here. Localhost, JDBC here defining JDBC colon Postgres SQL colon defining the localhost colon 544 colon. Let's check the previous created Docker compose file. So I'm going to Java programs here, main programs, Java program. Here I have created a compose file. Previous video you can see here. This is a Postgres compose file. Here the expose port is 5444 and Postgres DB name Postgres test DB. So I'm going to pasting this DB name here. Now going to define password. Password I also defining admin and username as a admin. Username also defining admin. Docker previous I have explained the Docker setup by using Docker Compose. You can watch my previous video. So you will be better understand how I'm going to implement the Spring Security. So I'm going to run Docker Compose file first of all. So here going to C drive, just 1 minute. ls cd Java program, going to Java programs, going to src ls cd main ls cd Java com. Now going to stream, going to main com. Just 1 minute, we need to revert one step here, typing cd program folder ls. I will also provide these projects in the description section. You can check description. You will be able to understand how to implement the Spring Security by using database. Going to cd ls, typing here ls cd interview cd compose. Now going to run compose file. So there is a command docker compose -f file name db setup up dot, running it. If images are not available in local, then it will pull the images from the Docker Hub registry, then it will run the. Just 1 minute. Now going to run again. Yeah, right now it is pulling the images from the Docker Hub registry because in my local Docker there is no images available. MySQL, Postgres and pgadmin. Both three images are not available. So it is going to download from the Docker Hub registry. Once download, then it will create the container and created the Postgres server as well. So I'm going to wait until Postgres server is not up. Now the images are pulled and going to create the container. Yeah, container created, network created, Postgres container created, PG admin container created, MySQL container created. So I'm going to open CMD, check Docker PS, current created containers. It will show all the created containers and running containers. Yeah, now going to open PG admin. So I'm going to Chrome browser here, typing http localhost. Let's check the external port 7090. Going to define 7090. Right now the container is not up, so waits until all the containers are not up. So let's check the log, docker logs -f postgres. Yeah, right now it is going to started the postgres server. After that we need to check pg admins log as well, that is up or not. Once postgres server is up and pg admin is up, then we need to run the our application or implement the security. So let's check docker ps docker logs -f and defining the container name pgadmin. Yeah, right now it is going to up. Wait until it is not up. Going to open another command. If you see here, MySQL container is also created. This is not required in this project because I am going to connect the databases of the Postgres. You can Docker comment the commands of MySQL in the Docker Compose files because we need to run only two things: PG Postgres and PG admin. Let's check again. PG admin is up or not. Right now it is not up. Wait until it is not in slice. Once PG admin is in slice, then we need to run PG admin. MySQL is not required, so I'm going to stopping the MySQL container. There is a command docker stop and container name. Now let's check running container. Yeah, only two containers is running right now. I have stopped the MySQL container. You can see by using docker ps-a. It will give all the stopped container information and running container information. You can see if in status you see the exited, that means container has been stopped, and if you see up, then it is running right now. So let's check again pgadmin. Let's Right now it is not up. Let's here implement the security. So we need to define here public in database. Here we need to define JDBC JDBC, JDBC detail manager. Now here going to define create source. Here passing the data source which is provided in the application YAML file. So defining data source here returning the new JDBC manager and passing as a data source and adding as a bean here. Now our application will connect to the database and it will authenticate through using databases. Let's check it is up or not. Yeah, now it is up. So going to Chrome browser, typing here. Let's add the let's add the username and password. So email name is a admin@gmail.com and password is a admin. I will provide all the information in the description. You can check description for better understanding. Going to login here. Yeah, now I'm able to log in into the PG admin. Going to connect here. For connection, we need to add Postgres security as a date as a server name and going to connection here we need to define PG admin. Sorry, we need to define Postgres because I have created the container name as a Postgres. So passing Postgres here and port as a 5443 and databases name as a Postgres testdb. Pasting this one. Now username as a admin and password also passing as a admin. Clicking save. Now here databases has been connected. So I'm going to run our application. Let's check what's happened. So going to our projects SB security with DB, opening our main application. Right click here, run with main. Let's check what happened. What happens here? Failed to suitable driver. Yeah, we need to define here driver as well. Data source and here password. Yeah, I have also missed the password indentation and adding username. Username. Now defining the driver as well. Driver class name org dot postgres sql dot driver. Now let's run again. What happened? PostgreSQL. Y- Yeah, there is a spelling mistake. Now let's run again. Here also a spelling mistake. So removing one S. I hope it will connect. Let's run again. I have changed here Postgres, PostgreSQL. Now you can check here it is connected the databases. So Spring Security internally manages its own user details. You can search that DDL commands. Go to search box here, type users DDL. You can see it is coming org Spring Framework Security, Spring Security Core and version here. After that you can see this is the table which is internally Spring Security Framework is Spring Security Framework internally manages. So I'm going to create these tables in our databases. So going to our databases, schema, query tools, comping. Now let's run these. Let's check what happened. Yeah, we need to remove this one. Ignore. Where can ignore? I have copied these table from the Spring Security internally managing the tables. You can see I have just search here user users.ddl and go to Spring Security dependencies. Here you can see these table internally manages by the Spring Boot security. So that's why I copying these tables and going to create in our databases. So just remove ignore text, ignore text here also. Let's run it. Now database has been created. You can see here, sorry, table has been created. There is two tables. So I'm going to add here username and password in this table. So selecting here, selecting R row, all row. Now there is no row, so I'm going to add here username as a admin and password. uh, we are going to add no no admin. Saving it and here adding enable and saving it, running it again. Let's check what happened. Let's going to access the API, home API. So HTTP localhost 6060 slash home. My bad. Here going to define HTTP localhost. Yeah, it will redirect to the login page, adding the admin and admin. Signing it. It is giving bad credential. Why? Admin, admin. It is giving bad credential. Let's add user, admin. Yeah, we need to implement as a Spring password encoder. So I'm going to implement password encoder here. Public password encoder, password encoder. Now going to return password encoder, password encoder factory dot delegates, create delegates password and adding as a bean. It will inject in the Spring Security. Going to restart this application and trying to access. This is delegates which encryption we are going to use here. Like databases I have used, no. It will just follow this one password encoder and I'm able to access the API. So yeah, now is up going to access the home API. Right now I'm going to access login user API, login user. I am able to get the response. But when trying to access secure API, it is going to redirect login page, Spring login page. So I'm going to add correct username and password admin. It is giving bad credential. Why? Let's check again. Why it is not? Nope, that is a correct. So let's go to here and checking just 1 minute authorization, running this one as well. Yeah, here also I am going to define username. I am not able to edit it. Just add. Here going to add as a admin and authentication as a sorry, adding as a admin and authority as a read write. Running it. Let's check again. I am not able to accessing the API after adding the correct username and password. Admin, admin. Yeah, now able to access. We need to define the authorization as well in the databases. So you just add username password in here. Now going to add another user. So here selecting all row, adding new row here. So here let's define username as a Java and password here going to define just 1 minute. Going to password encoder factories. So here vcryptor. So defined vcryptor password. vcrypt password generator. Let's check here. Adding as a Java encrypt, copying this and pasting this into a databases, saving it. Now let's check here. Adding as a true, saving it. I hope it will work. This is first time which I'm trying to doing this Java right. Now let's log out this one. You can also able to access item as well. So I'm going to log out here, just adding Java and password as a Java. So login Java and password as a Java. I am not able to access. Just trying to access home page. So here defining Java and here also going to add Java. I'm not able to access. Hi there. Yeah, there is some issue in here. You can check logs. Given that there is no default password encoder configure, so that's why. Okay, just enter prefix. Yeah, then we need to define the prefix here. So I'm going to define vcrypt because we have used vcryptor. So going to databases and here defining vcrypt colon vcrypt. Now save it. Let's try just cleaning the logs. Now going to try again Java. Here also passing the Java as signing in. It is giving bad request. Why trying to access home Java. Now defining Java. It is giving bad access. Why vcrypt? We have defined vcrypt. So why it is not going to take here Java? Defining Java. Let's stop the application and run it again. Maybe there is some caching issue. Yeah, now it is up. Let's try to access home page. Defining username as a Java and password same as a Java. Why it is giving bad Java round 4 decrypt ID and check no match. Defining Java here. Match okay. Encrypt. I have added this encrypt password in here. Oh, we need to add bcrypt here. My bad. Just go to password encoder factory, copying the bcrypt, pasting this bcrypt in here because I have using bcrypt password. So that's why adding the bcrypt, saving it. Now again let's try to access the API adding the Java and passing the correct password Java. Now I'm not able to log in again. Home, passing Java, again passing Java, bad request. Yeah, I have added bcrypt here, but not able to download, not able to access. Just stopping the application and rerunning it again. Bcrypt password encoder. Let's check again. Home, defining Java and passing the password Java. Yeah, now able to access. I think there was application not able to access the databases, so that's why I have just restarted the application and trying to access the API. So let's check item as well. Yeah, now also able to access item. Now let's log out by using logout API. Again, let's access the home API with another user. So passing admin and admin as well. Now able to access home API. So I have just created the existing tables which is provided by the Spring Security. You can search here users DDL. Now you can see the tables which is managed by the Spring Security. In upcoming video, I will explain how to create our users table manually by using hyphen by using Spring Data JPA with the Java entity and how to manage our authorization as well. So thank you for watching my this video. If you like my video, you can subscribe my channel for the further update. If you are facing any issue, you can contact me or comment me. I will explain how to handle those issues. And one more thing, I will also provide all the steps in the description. You can see in the description. If if you have any query, you can comment me. Thank you for watching my video.